Hi everyone, I'm Arthur E. Benjamin, founder of American Dog Rescue, and this is For the Love of Dogs. Farrah White's off today, so Bandit and I are going to wing it on our own. We're excited to introduce you to another animal rescue organization making a huge difference in North Texas. This one helps the smallest of dog breeds. Wendy Goldman is here today representing Chihuahua Rescue and Transport to tell us more about these great little dogs. Hey, Wendy.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Great.
Who do you have with you?
This is Milo, and this is Baby Bear. They are litter mates from a mother that was found on the streets. They are 13 weeks old and probably about 3.5 pounds right now.
And they're adoptable.
They as soon as they're neutered, they are up for adoption.
Well, they are so cute, and I understand that the others were just as cute.
Oh yes, there's another little female, but she's kind of spoken for. One of our foster moms, I think, is going to fail with her.
That's okay. So the long-haired and the short-haired came from the same litter. That's an interesting story for our audience.
Yes. If there is a long-hair gene somewhere in the line, there can be a long hair. The parents don't necessarily have to be a long hair, but there can be a long hair pop up if there's a relative. My long hair is the only one that was in his litter.
Well, they obviously love each other a lot. It's going to be hard to separate them. Maybe there's someone out there that wants both of them.
Oh, we love it when we have an adopter that adopts too.
Is there any specific home, speaking of someone out there, is there any specific home, some traits that are good for the Chihuahua breed?
A lot of Chihuahuas, since they are smaller, do better in an all-adult home or perhaps a home with older children that know how to handle a dog. Chihuahuas are great with kids. They just need to be with a child that won't pick them up and drop them.
They break easily.
They break easily. They can break a leg pretty quickly.
So what would you say is the best character trait of the breed?
Chihuahuas are brave. They're smart. You can train them. Sometimes they're a little stubborn about it, but they are very, very highly trainable. I was going for, with mine, the Canine Good Citizen. They love training. They're smart. They tend to like maybe one person over another, but most Chihuahuas love everyone.
Well, tell us a little bit more about Chihuahua Rescue itself.
Well, Chihuahua Rescue began back in the late 90s. It was like a transport list for sick and injured dogs, and it grew into an organization. We're here in the Southwest, we're in the Midwest and Southeast. We take in sick dogs, older Chihuahuas, whereas a lot of rescues perhaps won't. We want to work with the elder and perhaps the ones that need a little medical attention because they make great pets too. Once they're healed, they're just as good as a non-ill one. This year we adopted probably over 40 dogs, so we had a really, really good year this year with our adoptions.
So you've been in the Chihuahua business for how long?
I have been with Chihuahua Rescue since probably about 2007.
And how many foster families does Chihuahua Rescue have?
We probably have about 15 foster homes, and we are always needing new foster homes.
So what makes a good foster home?
Someone who loves dogs.
Yes.
Someone who has the time to devote to help an animal that may need help overcoming an abusive situation. Chihuahua Rescue provides all the medical care, and all the foster provides is the food and, of course, the love.
Well, the love's the most important part.
Right.
How many dogs do you have available right now?
We have about 15 dogs available right now.
And they range in size from?
From 3.5 pounds probably up to close to 10 pounds. Well, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that.
That's a Chihuahua.
Yeah, I call it a Chihuahua. Last year I told you about a dog that someone had left in a ditch. She weighed 25 pounds, a 25-pound Chihuahua. She looked like a harbor seal. We have we got an update from her foster mom. She has lost 11 pounds. She's down to 14 pounds. She's just beautiful. She's got a little more to go.
I thought that was a cross between a Chihuahua and a Mastiff.
Yeah, oh my God. It was, it made me very angry that someone did that to that poor Chihuahua, but she loves her foster home. Her foster mom loves her. Hopefully that'll be a failure as well.
Can you tell us about a few others you have available?
Oh yeah, that's Ariel. We have, well, are we going to show some pictures? We have Baron. That's Ava. Ava's a mature woman, and she loves her people. She's very sweet. Ava's a very sweet dog. Oh, there's Baron. Baron is a tripod. We would love to get some donations to help Baron get a cart. His front leg was broken when he was young and wasn't set well, and he ended up losing that leg, and he is still looking for a forever home. He's a Chihuahua pug. He's a chug.
So when you say a cart, how much is a cart? Let's let people know what they can donate.
I believe a cart starts at probably around $300. They try to custom fit them to the animal. He gets around, but as he gets older, he's losing a little muscle strength. And I think he'd be so much more mobile if he had a little cart.
Well, I think that would be great. Bandit was originally a dog that didn't have use of his rear legs, and he was fit for a cart, but we got him rehabbed before he got into the cart business.
And so, you would never know.
Yeah.
You would never know.
He's really great. So are all your dogs up to date on shots and spay and neuter?
Yes, that is part of our program. When they come in, they are spayed or neutered if they are not already. They receive a full set of vaccinations. If they need a dental, they receive a dental. They are microchipped. And if they have a problem like a luxating patella, which is a bad knee, we'll fix that. So they are completely vetted. Our adoption donation is $200 for an adult Chihuahua and $225 for a puppy. But you wouldn't even be able to touch vetting if you bought a dog for that amount. And it just goes, it's paying forward. It goes for the next dog.
So let's talk a little bit before we run out of time about for my furry Valentine last week and your upcoming events.
Well, the weather was a little chilly, but it was wonderful, and we will, a beautiful sunny day. It was a dog-centered event. There were doggy vendors, a lot of people. It was wonderful, and we hopefully will get some good applications out of that.
Well, at least it didn't snow.
Yes, thank you.
And anything upcoming?
Yes, we will be at the North Texas Irish Festival.
At Fair Park.
At Fair Park, we'll be in the Grand Building. Their phrase this year is "Aaron, go bark." They're really focusing on dogs this year. There will be a whole building. The Grand Building will be filled with rescues.
So Bandit says, if you want to learn more about Chihuahua Rescue, visit their website, Chihuahua Rescue, chihuahua-rescue.com. On Facebook, it's Cute Chihuahuas. Still to come on today's show, we'll meet the folks behind Wolfgang Bakery and Grooming, and then we'll tell the rescue story of the week. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every year, families in North Texas unknowingly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of neglect, abuse, and disease. When you buy a puppy from a parking lot or flea market, you could be supporting the cruelty of puppy mills that profit from dogs bred in abusive conditions. Help us stop the cycle. To learn how, go to spca.org/no-puppy-mills and take the puppy pledge.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson.
I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I'm a pet lover first.
Welcome back. We all want the best for our dogs, and that includes healthy eating and grooming, like Bandit here chewing on his cigar. Seriously, that's the mission behind Wolfgang Bakery and Grooming. Nicole Millette and Jenny Balch are here to tell us more about it, and welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
And welcome to your pups. Who do we have?
This is Merlin.
Merlin, do some magic for us. Come on, do some magic.
His magic is eating treats.
Yes.
And?
This is Princess Pumpkin.
Princess Pumpkin. Hi, Pumpkin. Bandit's got a crush on Pumpkin.
I can see that.
Can you tell us a little bit about Wolfgang Bakery and what's it like? Is it a franchise? How does it work? And how do people find you and get your food?
Okay, not a problem. Wolfgang Bakery was founded in 2007 by Paul and Kara Allen. They have grown to 44 stores nationwide now. Jenny and myself own North Richland Hills and the Plano store. And what our basis is on is complete health and nutrition for dogs, as well as the importance of grooming, like you said. It's very important to take care of our animals the best we can for a long and healthy life.
So people have a big choice of foods, and we've got an array of foods set up on the floor here and treats on the tables. I've always heard that it's expensive to feed good food to your dog, but I know that that's a myth. You want to address that?
That is absolutely a myth. When you feed a healthier food to your dogs, they're going to use the restroom less, they're going to get the nutrients they need, and because they're not ridding their bodies of things they don't need that are in the food, they're actually going to feed less amounts of foods, and they're going to get a higher protein value. And the foods are actually very reasonably priced for the quality of ingredients and things that are in them. You're going to get the best things for your dog for your best dollar.
So there are a variety of dog foods on the floor, and also there are lots of other dog foods that we know of. Mm-hmm. And the difference in them is the difference in what's in the food and the filler, the content of meat. And you take a brand like Primal or Stella and Chewy's on the floor. They're based on a raw food diet, and these are the freeze-dried versions so that you don't have to freeze them. Bandit eats Stella and Chewy's, for example, and he lives on the freeze-dried food, and I travel all the time, so it's very convenient for me, and it's very good for him. He hasn't been sick. He was very sick before that. He hasn't been sick since he went on it. So can you give us a little bit of a tour through the good foods that you have on the floor and what the differences are?
Yes, one of the main brands that we love is Origin and Acana. It's actually made by Champion Foods out of Canada. Mm-hmm. The quality of ingredients that are in the food come from the fresh caught fish, the farm raised beef, you know, the lamb's the same way. Also with the different fruits and vegetables as well come from quality places. It's not, there is no filler in there. There's no cornmeal, there's no meals that are actually really bad for dogs where you have the stomach problems and so on and so forth. Another great brand is Earthborn. Earthborn's been around for over 100 years. The quality of ingredients in that food is also very, very high in protein and also quality ingredients. And like you said, the Stella and Chewy's, it is really the raw food. What they take is grind the meat and the vegetables and the bone marrow and everything together. They patty it and they freeze dry it, and that's how you end up with the quality ingredients there.
And it's pretty stable. I mean,
it's very.
I don't have to put it in the refrigerator. I open it as long as I keep the bag sealed and it travels with me. It's good for a couple of weeks at least once it's open, probably longer, I don't know.
Correct. Yes, it has a long shelf life.
So where's your boutique? You said it was in Plano and North Richland Hills?
Yes. My store is located at Frankfort and Preston Road in the Arbor Shopping Complex.
Okay.
And yours is?
Mine's on Grapevine Highway, also known as Boulevard 26 in North Richland Hills, Texas, at Precinct Line.
So why did you both decide to open these stores? I mean, personal story, not just it's good for, the food's good for dogs.
Right.
But what in your life motivated you to open a specialized store for dogs?
My backstory is my husband and I decided to get a Great Dane. And Great Danes need very special care. They have very sensitive stomachs. They're very sensitive to food. And I did research probably for a good 3 months before we brought her home to figure out what type of food would be good for her. And we ended up going with the Earthborn. We did start out with another brand. However, stomach didn't do very well on it at all. We had a lot of pooping problems and so on and so forth. So because of the care we were giving her, I wanted to spend more time with her. And one of the things that caught my eye with Wolfgang Bakery is that bring your dogs to work with you. And so I talked to my husband, and we decided to open a Wolfgang Bakery and Grooming so that I could spend all of my time with my Great Dane.
That's great. And you?
For me, I was in college down in Austin, and I was volunteering at an animal shelter, and I fell in love with a puppy who unfortunately was on the euthanasia list, and they told me that she had 48 hours to get adopted. And so, of course, I took her home, and she turned out to have a lot of health issues, and she got very, very ill, and unfortunately she died at a very young age. But because of that, I started researching really high quality foods and found that a lot of places and people weren't able to answer my questions about dog nutrition and what was going to be best for her. When she did eat, I needed her to have the best vitamins and nutrients possible. And that was really what started me getting interested. And after college, my brother is my business partner, and he worked at the Fort Worth Zoo for 4 years. And animals have always been a passion of his, and dogs have always been a passion of mine. So we decided to pull all of our money together and do what we loved. He has become an incredible baker and wonderful with all the animals, and I get to play with everybody's puppies on a daily basis, not to mention bring my own dogs with me.
Well, that's great. It's always nice to hear the background stories. And if you want to learn more about Wolfgang Bakery and Grooming in Plano or North Richland Hills, you can go to their website, W-O-O-F, gangbakery.com. Up next, we'll tell you more about You Rescue Me, a new video series on our Facebook page, plus the rescue story of the week. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Sheryl Crow, and I'm a musician and a mother, and this is Buttercup. She's also a mother, but not by choice. She's a survivor of a puppy mill. Buttercup spent her life in a dirty wooden hutch, forced to produce litter after litter. She never went to a veterinarian or a groomer. She never had a soft spot to rest or a kind touch. She existed this way in cruel isolation year after year. Puppy mills are mass production factories where mother dogs suffer their entire lives, producing nearly 100% of puppies sold in pet stores and on the internet. When these dogs are no longer able to produce, they are often destroyed. Buttercup's nightmare ended the day Animal Rescue Corps saved her life. She finally knows what it means to have a loving family. But for the millions of dogs suffering in the estimated 15,000 puppy mills across the United States, this nightmare continues. Animal Rescue Corps and I ask you to visit your local shelter or rescue when choosing your next animal companion. You will not only be saving a life, you will be helping put an end to this cruel industry. Please go to animalrescuecorps.org to learn more about ending puppy mills. Buttercup and I thank you.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
If you're a dog lover, you'd probably admit that a rescue dog saved your life just like Bandit saved mine. That's the idea behind a new series on our website called You Rescue Me. It's on American Dog Rescue's Facebook page as well. We're sharing great rescue stories from across the country and around the world. Here's a look at my story. I got a call one day about this little Shih Tzu Lhasa Apso mix, about a 4-pound puppy who couldn't walk, and they were asking American Dog Rescue to supply the cart that the dog would live in. And I said, let's take him to Texas A&M first and see if he can be rehabbed. He was originally named Scooter because he dragged his back end behind him until he was 12 weeks old. And he became Tiny Tim because through our therapy, he began to walk. And he was this darling little Shih Tzu Lhasa Apso who I couldn't find a home for, even though he was so good looking and he could walk. And nobody adopted him, so we got stuck together. You know, there's a hotel that when you check in gives you a goldfish to put in your room so that there's something living with you. Staying in hotels is hard. Traveling to cities is hard. It's not hard when you have a little guy like this to take with you. Bandit has made such an amazing difference in my life as I travel the country. There's always a companion by my side, always someone who's there with the insurmountable, unrelenting love of an animal for a human being. And he looks up to me in a way that I know I have to do things better and bigger so that other people see me the way he sees me, which is he knows who I am and he knows what I can do. I think it's obvious why rescuing dogs is good for dogs. They wind up in a loving home. They wind up with great surroundings and with a relationship with you. But in reality, dogs really rescue us. They're the unconditional love that's talked about in all religions. And having unconditional love around you changes the way you see the world and changes the way you do things in life. As I travel the country and I get into conversations with people about their dogs, the pictures come out and the stories come out about how their lives and their families' lives have been changed. Those stories need to be told, because the more people who know that dogs change people's lives, the more people will adopt dogs and make them part of their lives. Now it's time for our rescue story of the week. This one comes from Chihuahua Rescue. Cindy Gordon and Karen Hales are here with Tessa's story. Karen, can you tell us the backstory here?
Yes. I received a call from a lady who had found Tessa and said that she'd had 3 puppies, but that she could not keep them. And I said, well, what is the story? How did this come about? And she and her husband had come home from a trip. They'd left the airport, and as they were driving down the street, saw Tessa with one of her puppies hanging at the end of the umbilical cord. They were both screaming. Clearly, Tessa was a first-time mom, had no idea what was happening to her. So they immediately pulled over. They managed to coax Tessa to come to her and got her up and the puppy. There was a convenience store nearby, so they went inside to see if she could get some scissors because she knew she needed to do something. And this was, I guess, fairly late at night. The store manager said that he had seen Tessa hanging around for a couple of days but had no clue where she belonged. So she did her thing, got the umbilical cord tied off, and as she was tying off the umbilical cord, the second puppy was born. Mom still didn't know what to do, so she had to continue to help Mom with the birthing. And of course, at that point, what do you do? So all they could do was get a box from the store.
And along came number 3.
And along came number 3 on the ride home, yes. And she kept her over the weekend, but she was concerned she wasn't nursing properly, and so she called and said, can you help? And as of course, how do you say no to that? So yes, so Tessa and her pups came to stay with us.
Well, Tessa and her pups, right?
Yes, yes, her pups. 2 of the pups, Bear and Milo. So.
And they're both up for adoption.
They are both up for adoption.
And they're beautiful. Bear looks like a German Shepherd,
Yep.
I was saying, in his face, but he's all of 3 pounds.
Yes, I think he's going to probably have a coat like his mom.
Oh.
And so, yeah, and then Milo, the smooth coat, and they're both adorable, as you can see.
So how does Tessa get along with your other rescues?
Oh, she does great. As a matter of fact, Tessa has been adopted by Cindy. Cindy has been doing the photographs for Chihuahua Rescue she's been volunteering her time and her services to a lot of rescues, and Chihuahua Rescue is one of them. She had adopted Tebow last year and wanted a playmate. So when she met Tessa and Tebow met Tessa, it was an instant match.
Tebow, how do you like Tessa?
He loves his little sister.
Yes.
Yeah? They play a lot.
They get along great.
You should see the videos.
Yeah, they chase each other around the house. They sleep in their same little bed together. They get along great.
Well, so these are very typical of Chihuahua pups. And,
yes.
And Chihuahua Rescue and Transport always has some for adoption.
We
so
always.
Our audience can go to your website, take a look at the dogs, and if they want a little Chihuahua, they know where to get one.
Absolutely.
It's so wonderful to have the mom and pups on the same show, and it's what a wonderful rescue story. It's not only did these people rescue the dog, but it appears that Tessa's rescued Tebow.
Absolutely. He needed a playmate, and they just love each other.
Well, great. Thanks for being here. Once again, we've run out of time for another one of our shows. Thanks for our special guests today, all of them. And if you want to learn more about For the Love of Dogs or American Dog Rescue, please visit our website, americandogrescue.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. For all of us here at The Love of Dogs, thanks for watching. See you next time.